Hi, it's me, Daphne. Welcome to my channel and today's video where I'm going to be sharing with you all the physical books that I own that are about Black people and their stories by Black authors, whether that's fiction or nonfiction. This video is for Black History Month, considering that it's February. It's coming out a little later in the month than I originally planned, only because this day is a collab posting day where a bunch of other booktube creators should be posting their Black History Month themed videos. Special shout out to Hannah who coordinated this. She thought it would be nice to do all of this together as a group, so I'm happy to participate and share all the bookish things for Black History Month. So like I said, these are all the books that I physically own. Obviously, I've read other books about Black people by Black authors on KU and on my Kindle and from the library and things like that, but these are the ones that I physically own. Some of them I've read and some of them I haven't yet, but I am very happy that my collection has grown substantially. I'm quite pleased, and I hope to continue to grow this collection in the years to come. But let me go ahead and dive into some of these books. I'm just gonna go through them kind of quick, okay? This is just to inspire you if it piques your interest or just give you some author names that you can check out. I'll start off with some romances that I've read. I have 7 Days in June by Tia Williams. It's a romance, but it's like quite dark, so just be aware. I have American Royalty by Tracy Livesay. This is like a pop star falling in love with a royal. I think he was a prince. And it was a silly, fun time, a little bit light on the steam, but I absolutely love this cover. This woman is absolutely stunning. I read this one recently. This is Pardon My Frenchie by Farah Roshan. This is about a pet daycare owner and a military vet and their romance in New Orleans. And some cute doggies. I have The Neighbor Favor by Christina Forrest. This is the first book in a series that covers the sisters, I believe. This is about a woman aspiring to be a children's book author, I believe, and she writes to her favorite fantasy author, this man, who lives under a pseudonym, and it turns out that he's her neighbor, and he recognizes her even if she doesn't recognize him, and it's their little romance. A little bit of hidden identity. I have 2 of Kennedy Ryan's books for the Skyland series, Before I Let Go and This Could Be Us. This is very like women's fiction in the sense that these women are finding themselves, finding their own power for an age range of women in their 40s that have children, and the drama that comes along with having to take care of business while also feeling like your life is spiraling. Also, there's a bookmark in here. Fun, I should take that out. So all the books so far, I've read these. I've also read the next 2, which are historical fictions of Black characters. I have Aphrodite and the Duke. This is like your classic family that are part of the Ton in England, but it's a Black family, which is so cool to mix it up a bit. Even if it didn't really happen in real life, you can make your own stories, so loved that. And then I have An Extraordinary Union. This is a like Civil War based historical romance between 2 spies. We have our female lead who's pretending to be a slave in a home so she can spy on that family, and a white man who's pretending to be like a military leader on the enemy side so he can get intel and stuff for the North and their romance. This was one of my top romances of last year. I think it was last year. And yeah, really enjoyed the stakes and the espionage and all that in the story. Okay, and I feel like because we talked about historicals, that transitions well to these other historicals that I read by Beverly Jenkins. She's a really good option as well. I've read Destiny's Embrace and Nighthawk. I do enjoy Beverly Jenkins' writing, though it is very specific. It can be kind of slice of life. It's not the most steamy, but I enjoy reading Black love in historical settings, and sometimes it's kind of sad and depressing because our history is sad and depressing, but the fact that these characters can find love and joy is just what I need sometimes. Okay, and because I was talking about Bev Jenkins, I'll just show you the rest of my collection. I have 4 more books from her that I have yet to read. Some of them I might have bought and used, and others I think I bought new. I'm not super sure. Like, this one's a bit beat up. I think I've got this one secondhand. This is Winds of the Storm. And some of these are like a part of series. I don't remember which order they're in, but I'll just tell you their titles. I've got Winds of the Storm. Look at these covers. I've got Captured. Absolutely stunning. I've got Through the Storm, so that must be related to the first one I showed you. And I've got Jewel, which is also another beautifully stylistic painted style cover. Though her hair is straight, which is a little curious. Like, what time period is this? You got relaxer in your hair, girl? But yeah, that's my completed Bev collection so far. I really need to read these before I collect more. And then I'll move into non-romance based fiction books that I have. I have 2 from my Dear IRL friend, which is Dear God, Have You Lost Faith in Me? And Dear God, Why Is It So Hard to Forgive? I did read the first one. I haven't gotten to the second one yet, but I plan to in the near future. This is about a Black single mom trying to survive and take care of her young child who's like maybe like 10 and her grandmother in New York City. So these are well-written books, and I'm happy to shout out my friend. Another one I have is The Black Kids by Christina Hammonds Reed. This is a YA book about kind of like the craze in Los Angeles in the 90s and just some kind of like yucky racial shit that was going on. It's YA, so it doesn't like go super far and scary. It's very approachable on the topic without being like horrifying. And you know, if you're looking for something your kids, your like young preteen teenagers could read, like this is a good option for Black History Month. Another really beloved book that I've read a couple years ago is The Vanishing Half by Britt Bennett. This came out in 2020, about sisters that chose different paths for themselves. I'm not supposed to be describing all these books, but you probably know this one, another good Black book to read. It's got a bit of a historical vibe to it at times. It's like historical with flashbacks and then a bit contemporary in other moments in the book. Next, I have some books that are on my TBR currently that I need to get to because I know they're going to be amazing. They have amazing reviews. The first one being Black Cake by Charmaine Wilkerson. My family members have read this book and they absolutely loved it. It's about family and inheritance and tradition for a Caribbean family. Again, I think it does like a contemporary moment, but then also historical moment and flashbacks and stuff. So really need to prioritize this one. It gives the same kind of aesthetic energy as The Vanishing Half. And this next book I picked up because it was like the best book of 2023 and I wanted to read it in 2024, but that just didn't happen. I just don't think I was like emotionally ready to pick it up. But that book is The Heaven and Earth Grocery Store by James McBride. This is interesting. It's about like a Black community and a Jewish community in the 1970s and then maybe even further back. Not sure because obviously I haven't read this yet. So another historical book that I want to get to. And I just feel like I'm going to take away a lot from it because it's beloved for a reason. It got the best book of the year for a reason, right? And then the last one on my TBR that's fiction is Parable of the Sower. I'm pretty sure this is a series, right? By Octavia E. Butler. And I'm intimidated by this, but I truly need to read this in 2025 because I'm pretty sure the book takes place in 2025, at least for a portion of it. Like this first page says 2024. So when I put this on my yearly TBR, I was like, damn, I missed it by a year. But then I heard somebody else saying that it takes place in 2025 also. This page says 2025. So I'm still good. I'm still good. I could read it in time, okay? I don't know how many years it goes into the future. Oh, this one says 2026. I could afford to wait another year to read it. I don't know how many years it goes. Let's not spoil myself. 2026 might be the cutoff for this one, but I would like to read it this year. It focuses on like climate change, I'm pretty sure, and like the end of the world, and it was written a while ago, like maybe in the 90s. So it just feels really like relevant that it's like we're living in the time period that was the future of when this was written. So this looks like it was written in 93. So it's like, wow, 2024 is so far into the future. It'd be, what, 30 years into the future? And now I'm living that time. And the world is on fire. So I want to read that. And then we will move into our nonfiction portion of the video. 2 of these books I've partially read, but like nonfiction is hard for me to get through because I get kind of sad. But I need to get over that. I really need to like put these by my bedside and read like a chapter here and there. So the first one I'll talk about is 400 Souls, edited by Ibram X. Kendi. I really like Ibram X. Kendi. I follow him on Instagram. I would highly recommend doing that as well. He's very smart and informed and has good takes on a lot of the bullshit that's going on in America. And this particular nonfiction book details out the history of African Americans from 1619 to 2019. And it's just fascinating. Like, I got to 1664 to 1669 chapters. So it's like a collection of all of these authors. They each get like a 5-year span of time. And they could either write like a poem or a excerpt on a specific topic that was really relevant in their time period. And yeah, I was annotating it a bit for a while, but I'm pretty sure I bought the audiobook too, because I find listening to nonfiction easier. So I'll probably have to restart, to be honest. But I really need to prioritize this because I really want to educate myself. This was like back during the Black Lives Matter movement, like blowing up in 2020, like around that time, I picked up this book. I just need to be more educated as an African American woman. And then along that vein, I also picked up Ibram X. Kendi's other book. This is like his book. It's called Stamped from the Beginning, The Definitive History of Racist Ideas in America. Again, I really wanted to educate myself, and I was like, I need to read this, but like it is a big, intimidating nonfiction book. But I just gotta like grow up hair and read nonfiction because I know there's really important information in here and really good arguments that I could take into tough conversations if I ever come across them. I usually don't because I surround myself with good people, but I think it's good to be armed with great information when people are challenging you on bullshit, you know? This next one I picked up while I was on my honeymoon. I wanted to get a souvenir book, so I picked up The Story of the Jamaican People. We went to Jamaica for my honeymoon. I am part Jamaican, and I wanted to just get as much cultural information about my origins, you know what I mean? Like, obviously my family is Jamaican, but I feel like I was raised mostly American. I had some Jamaican food, you know, growing up and like our holidays and things like that, but like I just feel the dysphoria, I guess you could call it, from Jamaica kind of strongly. So I wanted to learn more about it, and I thought this would be a great book to pick up. And even my husband was interested because he absolutely loved our time in Jamaica. He loved getting to meet all the Jamaican people we came across. They're such a kind, loving, sweet, happy group of people. They were so kind to us. And yeah, this would be nice to read together. And if he doesn't make the time to read it, at least I could read it and I could tell him about it. And I'm sure he would appreciate it. We'll make time to read this at some point in my life, but like not in a rush. But I'm so glad I have it in my collection, and it's a wonderful souvenir. Apparently it cost 4,500 Jamaican dollars. Sounds like so much. And then the last books I'll talk about, they're more nonfiction books, but these were all gifted to me by my in-laws. So if you don't know, my husband, he is also African American. His parents are both African American, and they thought these books would be really cool for us to have in our collection. So actually, I think maybe one of them Chase bought as a gift for his dad, but he decided to hold on to it because he wanted to read it first. But these books are tied to my in-laws to some degree. So the first one I have here is Afro Pessimism. I'm pretty sure Chase tried to read this one. Yeah, there's a bookmark in here. Oh, this is a nice book of the month bookmark. It says, mind if I cut in? I'm gonna steal that. I don't think he'll mind. But I think he really struggled with this because it's dense, okay? I think like the language of the book is like maybe challenging, but I'm not sure because I never tried to read it, but we have it. Oh, actually this one I don't think has to do with my in-laws. I think I found this one like in my apartment's recycling room. It's called The Conversation, How Seeking and Speaking the Truth About Racism Can Radically Transform Individuals and Organizations by Robert Livingston. Dr. Robert Livingston. Yes, he is a black man. So I was like, oh, someone's getting rid of this. I'm like, I'll take it. I guess whoever lived on my floor at the time was like, I need this book. It was probably 2020 when they picked it up. And they're like, I don't need it anymore. Which I'm like, okay, but now I have it. So yeah, interesting. I should really read these books. It's just, I'm not great with nonfiction. But if you are, I'm putting these books on your radar, okay? I'm putting them on your radar. And then I have Across That Bridge, A Vision for Change and the Future of America by John Lewis, United States Congressman and Civil Rights Leader. Pretty positive I got this from my in-laws. Winner of the NAACP Image Award for Outstanding Literary Work. I need to read this. It doesn't even, it's small. It's not that long. I should read this. I should read this. I should read this. And then the last ones are some memoirs by some notable black artists in the world. We have Jay-Z, Made in America by Michael Eric Dyson. I guess, is it a memoir? If it's not written by the person it's about, whatever, but it's about Jay-Z. And it says, it has a foreword by Pharrell. My in-laws gave this to us. I'm not like a huge Jay-Z fanatic or anything. The introduction is called Allow Me to Reintroduce Myself. My name is I don't know the words. That's embarrassing. Cut that out. So yeah, we have this one. Fun. And then the last one I definitely got from my mother-in-law. She gifted this to me. It's More Myself, A Journey by Alicia Keys with Michelle Buford, I guess, as a supporting author. And I love Alicia Keys. I don't know that much about her personal life, but I love her music. I've been to some art exhibits at the Brooklyn Museum that was done by her and her husband. They like have a collection of art from multiple black artists and they wanted to share it with the public. So very, very cool. I'll definitely get to this at some point. Just not in a rush, not in a rush. There's so many things that I need to read that I'm like, Alicia can wait. Alicia can wait. Oh. All right, so those are pretty much, as far as I picked around on my shelves, all the black books that I physically own. Oh no, I have an N.K. Jemisin. I have N.K. Jemisin series up there too. Fuck. I forgot these ones, my bad. I have N.K. Jemisin's The Broken Earth trilogy, the first one being The Fifth Season, the second one being The Obelisk Gate, and the last one being The Stone Sky. I've read the first one, haven't read the second two, but I hope to in a series binge this year. And then bonus one, I don't own this one, I got it from the library. It's N.K. Jemisin's The City We Became. I'm reading this for my book club. I got this out from the library, but it's physically in my house, so we'll give it a special shout out. There we go. So those are all the black books I physically own in my apartment by black authors. I hope it inspired you to read more diversely, if it gave you some new books to try out, new authors to read, some new nonfiction to pique your interest. If you enjoyed this video, please feel free to leave it a thumbs up and subscribe down below if you haven't already. I would greatly appreciate it, and obviously it helps out my channel. And I will catch you in another video. Bye!